Okay, now we're going to colour our line work. So begin by opening your previous document. I'm going to begin by saving it as Swoop illustration color version 1. Click save. I'm going to begin by making a new layer underneath my line work. I'm going to call that midtones. I'm going to use a 3-color palette, and that means I'm going to paint all of my color layers in black and then use color overlays to add color to those layers. I'm going to begin by using a pastelish purple. I'll click OK. I'm going to switch to the brush tool by pressing B. And I'm going to set my hardness to 100 to start with. And size I'll just bring down a bit. I'm going to make sure my opacity is at 100%. And then I have pressure sensitivity on. And I'm just going to paint the whole thing with my mid-tone color. Now we're going to create our highlights layer, which I'm going to name highlights to start with. And I'm going to use this swatch here. I'm going to paint in black still though. And add in a colour overlay. I can swatch that from there. I'm going to paint this with a brush with much less hardness. And I'm going to turn pressure sensitivity on and airbrushing on. I'm going to drop the opacity to about 50. And then I'm going to paint my highlights. Now I can paint soft shadows and highlights with this. I'm going to imagine the light sources coming from above. Okay, now I've laid in my highlights. Now what I'm going to do is, if we turn off these, I'm going to turn this, which I might just clean up a little bit, into a mask for all of the other layers. This will keep our other layers inside the boundary. Cool. Just gonna center again. I'm gonna control click on my layer, and that's gonna highlight. I'm gonna turn back on my other layers and press the add layer mask button. And that's gonna layer mask around the outside of our owl. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give the owl the outline colour that's in line with our colour palette. First I'm just going to deepen this a bit because I think it's a bit bright. Something like that. Yeah, that's better. So I'm going to go do my colour overlay trick, and I'm going to select that colour, click OK. Cool. Now I'm going to proceed to paint in more shadows, and then I'm going to do our different objects with our two different midtones, and then after that in the next lesson we'll do colour separations. Now I'm going to finish colouring the illustration. Now that we've done the shadows, I'm going to do the final mid-tone to make everything pop. So I'm just going to use the same techniques as before, but add a different colour for my overlay. I may change the yellow, I'm not so sure about it, but we'll see how it looks. I'm going to call it pop. Cool. Alright, I'm going to call that done. I've featured the yellow on the owl and on the crown and in the antlers and subtly through the skull, and I've left it off the roses to separate them from the background. I'm going to delete my swatches, and I'm going to delete the mockup layer. Yep. And I'm going to fill the background with black, as if it was a shirt that was black in colour. Well, it looks quite effective on black. In the next tutorial, I'm going to go over colour separations. We'll take apart the colours and convert them into halftones so that we can possibly print this. I'll see you back with that. I'm going to save it one last time.